So after God gave his Spirit to Jesus' followers, some of them started to go all over the place telling people about Jesus. And one of the guys that did this was a guy named Paul. And he would take these super long trips and he'd go places all over the world. And everywhere he went, he'd tell people about Jesus. Well, one of the places he went was a city called Athens. And when he got there, he's walking around the streets and he saw all over the place, all these different places for people to practice their different religions. He got kind of bugged by this, so he went and he started telling people about Jesus. He'd go to the markets, he went to the places where the Israelites would all get together, and he would talk about how Jesus died, but God brought him back to life again. And some of the people that lived in Athens heard Paul talking about this, and they were intrigued. So they invited Paul to go to this place where people would go to discuss controversial ideas and new ideas. And so Paul went. And they introduced him by saying, "Paul, we've heard you talking about some new ideas and we'd like to hear more." So Paul stood up and he said, "People of Athens, I can see that you are a really spiritual people, spiritual in every way, because everywhere I go in the city, I see places for you to practice your different religions. I even found a place where you can worship a God who's unknown. Well, today I want to tell you about this God you don't know. He's the God that made heaven and earth and everything on the earth. He gives life and breath to everyone, everywhere. He doesn't need us to do anything for him. He's actually been really, really patient with our ignorance for a long time. But now he's calling everyone, everywhere, to turn to him. Because he's already picked out a day where he's going to judge the whole entire world. And he's already picked the person that's going to do the judging. And he's proven that it's this person by raising him back to life after he died. Well, when some of the people heard Paul talking about someone dying and God bringing him back to life, they'd heard enough, so they left. But other people were intrigued and they wanted to hear more. So they asked Paul to tell them more, and Paul did. And some of them started to believe that Jesus really was who Paul said he was. So Paul stayed there in Athens, keeping on telling people about Jesus. And then when it came time for him to go, he continued traveling all over the place. And everywhere he went, he told people about Jesus. And the movement continued to grow.